We're going to start today by finding a comfortable seat. Be sure to pull the flesh away from those sit bones so that you're starting with a nice, stable foundation. Draw the navel in towards the spine. Bring the shoulder blades together and down the back. And I heard someone use a cue for this, which really helps me. Imagine you're putting your shoulder blades in your back pockets. So they go down the back, together and down the back. Crown of the head is reaching towards the sky, and the breath is balanced, which means that the inhale is the same length as the exhale. So go ahead and close your eyes, and so long as you're not stuffy, allow that breath to flow in through the nose and out through the nose. Just letting go of what may have been a busy or hectic morning, not worrying about things that need to be done later, and just really allowing yourself to be here in this moment. This is a pretty good one, practicing yoga, so we don't want to miss it by our mind being off somewhere else. With each inhale, allow that spine to grow tall. And then as you exhale, you'll keep the length in the spine and just begin to allow the body to soften. So you can just relax the shoulders away from the ears, relax the jaw, let the knees gravitate towards the earth. And I'd like you to think about something that you're grateful for. It could be anything. It could be something big, it could be something small, but something that you're grateful for. Bring the hands together at the heart, coming to Anjali Mudra, prayer position. We'll breathe together 3 times, and on the third exhale, share the sound of Om. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhale and exhale. And for the third time together, inhale. Om. Bow your head. Place the hands on the thighs, softly open the eyes, looking forward. So I mentioned earlier when I was telling the little story about how I fell recently that my fight or flight reflex kicked in, but it's fight, flight, or freeze, and I tend to freeze. But you know, the fight, flight, and freeze reflexes are designed really to only be activated once or twice in your life. You know, if you're faced with a life or death situation, if you're running from a wild animal or something like that. But we live in such a stressful time that for some people, that fight or flight or freeze response is always on, or it's on several times a day. And the reason why that's not good is because when that happens, our body is flooded with hormones that are meant to help us escape from a lion chasing us or something like that. It's not healthy to have all of these hormones rushing through our body all of the time. So simple practices like the balanced breath in and out through the nose can really help to turn off the fight or flight reflex and turn on what we call rest and digest. So I'll remind you about that as we practice. You really want to try to stay with that balanced breath. Inhale and exhale are equal. We'll start today laying on our backs. So just lay down comfortably on your back. I'm so excited. I got a little upgrade to my studio here. I actually got a little heater slash fan, so I'll be more comfortable this year, which is exciting. So you're going to lay down on your back and then bend your knees, placing the soles of the feet on the floor. Your arms can be wherever they're comfortable. You could have them by your sides or hands resting on the belly. And you're just going to let those knees sway from side to side, nice and gently. You can inhale up, exhale, tip to one side, inhale up, exhale, tip to the other side. Continue moving with the breath. So the next time the knees come back up, pause there. You'll hug the knees into the chest with the hands, coming to Apanasana. Just keep those knees hugged in. And then bring the arms up overhead as you lower the soles of the feet to the mat. Let the knees rock from side to side. One of the miraculous things that happened when I fell is I landed on my shoulder and my elbow. I thought I broke them, but then after that pain went away, all of my tendonitis pain was gone. It was very bizarre, but I'll go with it. Pause, draw the knees into the chest, hugging them in with the arms. Lower the soles of the feet to the mat, arms come up overhead, rock the knees from side to side. The next time the knees come back up, pause there, and bring the arms by your sides. Cross your right ankle over the left thigh. Take the hands around the left thigh. Draw the legs in towards the chest. You should feel this in the right hip and right glute. Inhale and exhale are equal. Keeping that right foot or right ankle over the left thigh, lower your left foot to the floor and then bring those arms out like a T. The palm faces the sky. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to tip the legs over to the left as you roll to the pinky toe side of the left foot. On the inhale, bring that back up. Exhale, tip to the right as you roll to the big toe side of that left foot. Inhale back up. You can feel free to close your eyes here and just rock from side to side. No need to rush. The next time the sole of the left foot is flat on the mat, pause there. lower the right foot, and then just make sure your foundation is set wisely. Make any adjustments that you need to. And you'll cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Take the hands around the right thigh. Draw those legs in towards the chest. Breathe here. Keeping the left ankle over the right thigh, lower the right foot to the mat. Arms come back out like a T, palms face the sky. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, tip the legs over to the right as you roll to the pinky toe side of the right foot. As you inhale, come back up. And then as you exhale, you'll tip those legs to the left as you roll to the big toe side of the right foot. Inhale, back up, and continue moving with the breath, rolling from one side of the foot to the other. The palms face the sky. Take a breath in. On your exhale, you're going to twist to the left. So you're bringing the legs and the knees over to the left. The left leg comes down to the mat. The right leg can just rest on top of it. If your right shoulder is sort of dangling in space, you're going to bend your elbow and just place the hand on the rib cage to protect that shoulder. Start to bring those knees back in towards the chest. And on the next exhale, you'll bring the legs over to the right, twisting to the right. Watching the breath flow in through the nose and out through the nose. Draw the knees back up towards the chest. Hug the knees in with both hands. And we're going to begin to come up to seated. So you can either rock back and forth until you build up the momentum to bring yourself up, or just use your arms to bring yourself up. And we're sitting in Sukhasana, easy pose. Simple cross-legged posture. You want to be sure to pull the flesh away from the sit bones here so that you're rooted down. Place your right hand by your side. On the inhale, that left arm reaches up towards the sky. As you exhale, begin to tip to the right. Breathe here. Slowly bring yourself back up, placing the left hand by your side. Right fingertips reach up towards the sky. On your exhale, tip to the left. Slowly bring yourself back up. One more time on each side. And we're going to add something. Slowly come back up. This time you're going to take both hands to the outside of that left thigh and take a bow. Bring yourself back up. Left hand by your side. Right fingertips reach towards the sky. Exhale, tip to the left. Slowly come back up, place both hands to the outside of that right thigh. Take a bow. And bring yourself back up to Sukhasana, easy pose. On the inhale, arms sweep up. As you exhale, hinge from the hips, folding forward, so we're not bending the back. When you reach a point where you're like, I can't go much further, you can bring those hands down to the ground. And then as you inhale, lengthen. Exhale, maybe you can walk those hands out a little further. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Somebody had catnip this morning. start to walk the hands back towards the body. And we're going to switch the cross of the legs. So that feels kind of weird at first. You'll readjust the sit bones. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, hinge from the hips. Again, when you feel like you need to, you bring the hands down to the ground. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Begin to walk the hands back towards the body, coming to Sukhasana. And now we'll come to all fours, hands and knees. When we're on all fours, remember to spread those fingers nice and wide. And we're pressing down through the fingers and the perimeter of the palms to help keep the weight out of the wrists. Notice how I just have this automatic arch in my back. If you have that as well, remember, draw that navel in towards the spine. Take a breath in. As you exhale, shift the hips to the heels, the chest to the thighs, coming to extended child's pose, elbows up off of the mat. As you inhale, come back up. All fours. Exhale back to child's pose. Inhale up. All fours. The next time you shift back to child's pose, pause there, keeping the elbows up off of the mat. Come back to the balanced breath if it's gotten away from you. Inhale and exhale are equal, and if it's okay for you, you're breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, begin to walk the hands out to the left as you bow out your right ribs. To make it a little deeper, you can place that right hand on top of the left hand and just press your right hip back subtly. Start to walk the hands back to center, and on the next exhale, you'll walk the hands out to the right, this time bowing out those left ribs. Walk those hands back to center, elbows up off of the ground. So we're going to come up to kneeling with the arms up overhead, and I want you to really use that core to bring yourself up. And then as you exhale, you'll hinge forward once again, bringing the hands down to the ground. Inhale, bring yourself up. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale up and exhale, hinge. The next time you hinge forward, you can rest in child's pose. So you could lower your elbows to the mat. You could cross the forearms in front of you, rest the forehead, or even bring the arms back by your legs, whatever feels restful to you. Come up to all fours, hands and knees. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, shift the hips to the heels, the chest to the thighs, coming to extended child's pose. Inhale up, all fours, moving with your breath at your own pace. The next time you come to all fours, pause there. We're going to start to make some nice big circles with our hips. So you're going to shift over to the left, shift back, shift to the right, and come forward. And you'll continue. Nice and slow, no need to rush. One more time. And then we'll go the other way. So you'll start to shift the hips over to the right, shift back, over to the left, and then come forward. Keep going. One more time. And we'll meet on all fours. Bring the right hand right beneath your face. You're going to take that right foot and sort of kick it out to the right so that it's pointing to the right lower corner of your mat. And then you're going to roll to the big toe side of the left foot. Bring the hand to the hip and then reach that hand towards the sky. Lower the left hand to the mat. Come back to all fours. Take the left hand beneath your face. You're going to kick that left leg out so that it's diagonal, pointing to the lower left corner of your mat. Roll to the big toe side of your right foot. Hand comes to the hip. You can reach that right arm to the sky. Lower the right hand to the mat. Come back to all fours, hands and knees. Shift back to child's pose. Inhale up, all fours. So we're going to take our hands forward about 1 or 2 hand lengths, and then you'll begin to shift your hips back as you lower the forearms towards the floor, lowering the chest and the chin towards the floor. So that's bothering my shoulders, so I'm actually going to skip puppy pose. Sorry about that. I did not realize that would hurt. If you're in puppy pose, you're lowering the arms and the chest towards the mat. So you'll have a big back, or you'll have a back bend going on in the back. Your bum is sort of sticking up in the air. If it's not a good pose for you, you can rest in child's pose. So whether you are in puppy pose or child's pose, let's all come back to all fours, hands and knees. Take a breath in, exhale, shift the hips to the heels, the chest to the thighs. Inhale up, all fours. Moving with your breath here. The next time you come to all fours, pause here. We're going to begin to move into downward facing dog. So from all fours, curl those toes under. Start to shift the hips towards the heels. The knees lift. As you press back, coming to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So we want to make sure the hips are pointing to the back of the room where the wall meets the ceiling. Allow the heels to relax towards the mat. Start to bend the knees, go back down into child's pose. And then as you inhale, bring yourself back up. All fours, hands and knees. Curl the toes under. Start to shift the hips towards the heels. Knees lift as you press back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Start to bend those knees. Go back down into child's pose. Inhale up, all fours. And once again, we'll meet in downward facing dog. From here, sweep that right leg out behind you and bend the knee. We're just going to make some nice big circles with that right femur in the hip socket. Go ahead and lower that right foot. Start to bend the knees, go back down into child's pose. As you inhale, come up all fours. Curl the toes under. Start to shift the hips towards the heels. Knees lift as you press back, downward facing dog. Sweep that left leg out behind you, bend the knee. Nice big circles with the left femur in the hip socket. Lower that left foot. Start to bend the knees. Go back down into child's pose. As you inhale, come up all fours. Exhale back. Inhale up. So you're moving with your breath from child's pose to all fours. The next time you shift back to child's pose, pause there. And then we're going to roll over onto the back and hug the knees into the chest. So we come back to Apanasana. So you can rock back and forth, give yourself a little massage here. And then place the soles of the feet on the mat and bring the arms by your sides. Palms face the floor. Draw the pelvic floor up, navel in, engage both glutes. Hips and arms lift. And then as you exhale, everything lowers. Inhale, everything lifts. Exhale, everything lowers. The next time you lift, we're going to hold the pose. So if you'd like, you can leave your arms by your sides. You can leave them just like that. You could bring them up overhead, or when they're by your sides, kind of roll the shoulders beneath you, clasp the hands together, pressing the fists and the arms into the mat. Inhale and exhale are equal, flowing in through the nose and out through the nose. Unclasp the hands, unwiggle those shoulders, slowly lower the hips back down to the mat, and then hug the knees into the chest. Keep those knees hugged in. Bring the arms out like a T, palms face the sky. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to tip the legs over to the left just like before. But this time we're going to straighten the legs. So the legs are going to be perpendicular to the trunk of your body. So you're in an L shape. Notice how my right foot doesn't quite reach the left. So I want to really stack my hips and reach that right foot so it's on top of my left foot. Now that causes my right shoulder to pop up off of the ground. So to protect it, I'll just bend my right elbow and place the hand on the rib cage. Breathe here. Start to bend the knees, come back onto your back. You can make any adjustments to your foundation. I'm actually going to turn around because I don't have enough room to go to the other side. So we'll take a breath in. As you exhale, you'll tip those legs over to the right. And then you'll straighten both legs so that you come to an L shape. Stack the hips, stack the feet. And if that left shoulder pops up, just bend your elbow, place the hand on the rib cage. Start to bend the knees, come back onto your back, hugging the knees into the chest. Take the peace fingers of both hands and grasp the big toes. We're going to make a nice big V with the legs. You can rock side to side here if you like. Draw the legs together, bend the knees, hands come to rest on the belly. So now, bring your arms by your sides, the palms face the floor. We're going to keep our arms on the ground now. Draw the knees in, Press the soles of the feet up towards the sky, and then bring the heels together, toes apart, so your feet make a V. Point your toes. Bring the legs out like a V. Flex the feet. Draw the heels together. Point the toes. Legs come out like a V. Flex the feet. Heels together. 3 more on your own. Then you can hug those knees into the chest. Keeping the arms by your sides or out like a T, palms face the sky. Press the soles of the feet up towards the sky. Lower the right leg until it's about 2 inches away from the ground. Bring it back up. Lower the left leg until it's about 2 inches away from the ground. Bring it back up. 4 more on each leg. When you finish, hug the knees into the chest. So the knees are hugged in. I want you to extend through the feet, extend through the arms. Take a nice full body stretch. And as you exhale, hug those knees in. Inhale, legs and arms extend, full body stretch. Exhale, hug the knees in. One more time. Extend. And then hug those knees in. Place the soles of the feet on the mat. Hands can rest on the belly and let those knees sway from side to side. Inhale and exhale are equal. The next time those legs or soles of the feet are flat on the floor, pause there. We're going to move into Shavasana, so that if there's anything that you need to be comfortable for the next 5 minutes, please feel free to grab that. Whether it's a glass of water or if you need socks or a pillow, whatever you need to be comfortable. So you'll lay down on your back, legs extended out nice and long, arms by your sides, palms face the sky. Now remember that Shavasana is a yoga pose, so you can modify it if traditional Shavasana is not comfortable for you. Once you are laying down, legs extend out nice and long. Just let the legs or the feet flop open. Arms are by your sides, palms face the sky, and the arms are a few inches away from the body. Relax your jaw by creating a space between the top and bottom rows of teeth. Let the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. And let your eyes just rest in their sockets. Resist the urge to make subtle movements. Allow the natural breath to take over. Rest in Shavasana. Slowly start to deepen the breath, becoming aware of the space around you and becoming aware of your body. You can start to make any subtle movements that might feel good, like wiggling those fingers and wiggling the toes. Turn the head gently from side to side and stretch through the arms and the legs like you're just waking up. Roll to the right side in the fetal position, and we'll stay there for a few breaths. Keeping your eyes closed if you'd like. Use the arms to bring yourself back up to a comfortable seated position facing the front of your room. You can bring the hands together at the heart in Anjali Mudra. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. A nice slow flow to help us lower our stress and anxiety. As you go through your day or as you go through the night, if you find yourself getting agitated, anxious, stressed, see if you can find a quiet space in your house and just watch the breath for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And really just watch the breath flow in through the nose and out through the nose, and see if that can help to bring some calm and peace to your mind and your body. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you be free from suffering. May you have ease and well-being. Namaste. Thank you all so much for sharing your practice with me this morning.